Hello guys and welcome back again to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Aileen. If you've been here before, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see from the title, today we are going to be going back to class. So take your paper and pen and let's begin. No, take your brush, get your makeup bag. We're going to be having a makeup class today. Today I was thinking of dividing this into sections so that I am able to get into depth with every part of it. I think on TikTok I'll combine them all, but here on YouTube I think I'll go step by step but more in depth. For this video, I was requested so many times on TikTok. I think it stemmed from one of those videos. I'll place them here, one of those videos from TikTok that I posted, and I had this dewy makeup, which was like, it's not even my everyday makeup, but I actually did it while, the door was open and I was supposed to be leaving. So I was like, wait, let me throw on some, let me just look a bit put together. And apparently it got me requests of how I would do my everyday no makeup look. And I've also been getting a lot of from my friends, my family, my cousins. They've been asking me and requesting me to teach them how to do their eyebrows. So for TikTok, I'll do if you want to see that, the dewy makeup, I'll do that on TikTok. But on here, I want to go into depth about makeup step by step, and I'll be taking you through each video section by section. So today I'm planning to show how to do different types of eyebrows, what to do for your face, what eyebrows to do for your face. So that is what I'm going to be taking you through today, and I'll give you some bits and pieces of what is important while doing your makeup, what you need to have long lasting brows, or to have different types of brows, because we don't look the same and we all don't fit all the types of brows. So I'll take you through that. But before we begin that, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to this channel. I'm a beauty creator, soon to be a lifestyle creator. So, but before we begin with this video, because I'll be getting into depth about brows, I want to show what I use for my face, because if you know the gurus of makeup, we have sections in the world where we know that people are very good at in-depth makeup, heavy makeup, mild makeup, and the no makeup look. We have various sections of the world, different sections where people have mastered that kind of art. And for me, I think Nigeria is the mother, when it comes to good in-depth makeup, like the bridal makeup, wedding makeup, event makeup. They're very good and niche with it. Or the photography makeup, they're very good with it. So if you want to learn that, you could watch videos from Nigeria or something like that. We also have the I think all of us generally, we could do the mild makeup, the just easy makeup look, that an everyday makeup look, but makeup. And then we also have the clean girl aesthetics. The clean girlies, the master of the clean makeup, the no makeup look, the dewy one. And I don't know how to place myself in there, and one thing that is very constant with all of them, that is what I wanted to come to, is skin prep. Skin prep is the most important thing when you do your makeup. It determines skin prep and the quality of makeup that you use. It determines the kind of makeup and how long it will last. So I'm gonna share with what I do personally when I want my makeup to last. I like to first go in with this micellar water, the Avril Falcon rechargeable micellar water. Yeah, I like to first go in with that, clean my face up with this cotton pad, the facial cotton pads that we use. Micellar water is also used to cleanse or to take off your makeup. I'm gonna use my eyeshadow mirror because I don't have a vanity table, but I'll get on soon. So I like to go with this. They just clean up before I skin prep. All the hair thingies, the oil, it's still part of skin prepping. Just ensure that you have a clean base before you do your makeup. I like to clean every part of my face where I'll be putting makeup. Mind you, my face was clean. So yeah, so I go in with that first, and then you dry your face, not too much. And for hydration, I love to go in with rose water, the normal the normal rose water, but I use this can because the one I have doesn't have a sprayer. So I use this because it's just a clear bottle that I bought to put my rose water in it. It's just the clear rose water, and I spray this all over my face to moisturize and hydrate my skin, because it is still part of skin prepping. And then I dry that. Now I have two types of moisturizers. I have the simple one. This is a very light moisturizer compared to the Nivea one. I also use this Nivea. This is a very oldie. This is an oldie. You can ask any millennial. I'm not a millennial though. You can ask any millennial. They used to swear by this. So I use this. This is very thick, and I mean thick, for moisturizing. So I like to go in with this during my makeup and during the times that I'm outside. If I'm indoors or just, it's not too hot, I like to go in with this because of the lightness. I like the lightness of this, but it's very moisturizing. Don't get me wrong. This is and it also has niacinamide and provitamin B5. It's very good, but very light compared to this Nivea. So I'll go in with this Nivea for hydration. Yes, and for also that dewy makeup look. This to die for. Okay. It's a very thick cream. I think I've put a bit too much, but it's okay. I love it so much. It's very thick. And then I just fan a bit so that I cool down my face from the rubbing. This doesn't dry down. This is just for cooling my face. As you can see, I'm already glowy. So for my last part of skincare, before now my makeup, I go in with my sunscreen. It's good to always have your sunscreen. Put on even though you have makeup on, learn to put your sunscreen on, because it protects your skin, and sunscreen helps. The most natural enemy to your skin, because of all the ozone buildup and everything, the chemicals in the atmosphere. The first enemy to good skincare is the sun. So learn to put your sunscreen on. You can tell because I don't put my sunscreen on all the time. So I'm learning. I'm trying to heal my skin to revert to where I was, because I had good skin and I was using the same product, but I added retinoid. So I go in with this Nivea. And Nivea, if you see this, Nivea, come to the front. I am an avid user of your product. I swear by them, by the way. I would love to work with Nivea. So it's a dream of mine to work with Nivea, to be an ambassador to them. Long-term contracts. Because Nivea has good products, my deodorants, my lotions, my sunscreen, my Nivea. I swear by Nivea. So I go in with my sunscreen. I put a bit too much, even though I'm not going anywhere. It's also a layer for my skin prep. It allows, it takes in that makeup. Yeah. Now, let's get into our class 101. For disclaimer, I will not be doing my full face of makeup. I'll just get into depth about eyebrows and eyebrows alone. But I want to also give you a little bit of tips of how I do my makeup. If you can see my brows, let me just come in closer. I have a very arched eyebrow, and you can tell how patchy it is because I pluck my hair. I love to twist my hair. Why? Because I don't like the curve to my eyebrow, how it goes, the curve my eyebrow takes. And I've learned what suits my face is a brow. So I learned it's a brow that arches up, that doesn't arch down, it just arches up. So the tip of my eyebrow reaches here, and I cut this off. I've learned to cut half of my eyebrow off. Now listen, it is not for everyone, and I know that, but for me it works. I'm very experimental when it comes to makeup. That is why, because I also learned, I love to teach it. So I've learned to cut half of my eyebrow off. You can see half of it, it's just growing back now, half of it off, so that I can lift my brow to give it a different shape, and to also lift my face up and to give me that cut eye look. You can tell from the lashes, it suits my face more, and it depends on my mood. If I'm going for a more cunty look, I go for that. But I also do the normal brows during church, things like that. But I'm gonna be teaching you, before I shave this off, we're gonna do the other types of eyebrows first. Do I really need to be doing my eyebrows every day? No. So what I learned to do, I bought henna, brown skin henna, that I use to draw on my eyebrow. It doesn't last me that long, but I don't know what this one is. I use this. I bought it like from cosmetic shop, and I use this henna to shape my eyebrow, to draw on my eyebrow, and it lasts me a few days before I redo it again, so I don't have to do my eyebrows every single day, since I don't have half of my eyebrows. So this is one hack that I use. I bought henna, not the black one, the brown one. So I use this with a small angled brush to shape my eyebrow, and when I have it shaved off. Yes. So for the first part of understanding eyebrows, of doing your eyebrows, is understanding because your natural face is created to like give you the perfect curve. If it has a curve, if it doesn't, some look good in straight eyebrows, some look good in curved, some look good in lifted. You need to understand the type of face you have, and to understand it's knowing your natural shape of your brow. That is the first step. If you understand how to draw and how to work with that, you've mastered your face and your eyebrow. That is the first step. So we're gonna start with that. Following the natural shape of your eyebrows, that is your most natural look, and that is the most telly sign of how your eyebrow should look like. So I'm gonna do that, my brow. But before we also begin, another tip, I have these 3 pencils. I use these 3 eye pencils that are very sharpened to the top. You can see I have the black one, the in between black and brown, and a little bit of browny, light brown. This are the holy grail. You need this if you are trying to learn how to do your eyebrows. You need this. And this is I'm a bit reserved when it comes to the black eye pencil to the eyebrows, but I'm gonna show you what to use it for, because you don't use the black eye pencil unless it's necessary. But for me, I don't like this. I like the softer look. It makes your eyes, I don't know, there's something about having softer features. It makes it feel more feminine for me. So I'll show you what I use the black one for. So you need to have sharp pencils before we begin. This is a must, okay? Yes. So for my first step, I go in with this brow gel, the Fit Me Maybelline brow styling soap. It's a gel. It's waxy inside. It's very waxy. It looks like a wax. I use it for my brow. I like to spray my rose water in here, to just allow to make the product lighter for me to use just a little bit. I think I overdid it, so I use this spoolie. I go into the waxy eyebrow gel. I comb them out, lift them up, yes. As you can see, it helps to like tame all the flyaway, because we don't all have soft hair, eyebrow hair, we don't have the hair sticking out up and down. So I use this to carve out the type of brow I want. It helps. Now that you've used your gel, the other part that it's a hack for me that I use, I like to go in with powders. This is the Maybelline Fit Me 340, a light powder, one light powder and one your shade powder, to powder your brows. Why? Because you want to draw on them. You don't want them. There are people who prefer them to be a bit shiny, that glossy look to your eyebrows. I don't. I prefer them a bit matte. So I go in with the powder. There's 2 powders, one light and one your shade. I'll first put the light one on, and I do this, it's to help with It's to also help with since I don't have brows, it really manipulates, you know, it's like I fade them out to draw them again for myself to what I want them to be like. To go in with the powders to be able to like fade out my my natural eyebrows, and to also fade out the beginner part of my eyebrow. It will come to, I'll show you why we fade out the beginner part of your eyebrow. So I like to put, and do not overlay the product because it will start caking. You don't want it too heavy, you just want it blurry. Okay, as you can see how blurry they are. I've not put too much product, you cannot tell, but they look very laid, if I may say so, right? Yes. So for the next part, this is now where I use my black eye pencil. Very sharp. You need it to be sharp. Do not go in with a blunt pencil. This is to fill out the gaps that I have in my brow. Okay, to fill them out. Let's do that together. Let me just come closer because, you know, so I like to fill out. You see how my brow looks? I'll fill out this part with hair-like strokes to the end. Don't worry if it becomes messy, if you overline, or if you go beyond. Do not worry, we'll clean that up and use a very light hand. Okay, and if you're unable to like use a light hand like it's okay. I'm going to show what you do to make them feel like hairs. Take the spoolie that you had for us to have, because you see I've used a bit of a heavy hand and we want them to look like hair. Okay, we don't want them that black. You're going to use the spoolie take the spoolie that you had, clean it up at the back of your hand. Don't worry, you're going to wash your hands later. Clean the spoolie up and use it to comb out the parts that you've drawn. It helps to soften and create spaces between the strokes that you've made, and take away the excess product. For my eyebrows, as you can look at them closely, if you can tell, I have a very soft curve. It does not arch. It is not a sharp arch or a curved arch. It's very soft. So I'm gonna follow that, but I'm explaining in this because I will not be talking in those. I'll just be doing, okay, the same concept. Sharp pencil. You can see I've drawn a very soft eyebrow, no harsh curves. There are people who prefer to have very not so filled eyebrows, which I also love, but I'm going to, since I want you to see the difference when you have them filled out a bit more. Okay, so if you want to use the brown pencil, now for the black pencil, I forgot to also mention, you don't use it in the beginning of your eyebrow. You don't draw stroke like hairs. Since I have a fuller beginning of my eyebrow, I don't need to draw on it. But if you don't use the black one. You need to use this brown one, the in between black and brown, the middle child. Okay, the mixture between the two. Use if you need. I will not be drawing in the front because I don't want any product in the beginning of my brow. I just need them fuller in between ukundani, and where I did the black one. Okay, and where I did, you see these holes here. Yeah, I will not, if you require, and never draw, do not line this. We're not gonna line this. We're gonna start our line from here, but I'll show you then. You see, I go in with this everywhere I had gone in with. Go back with your spoolie, clean it up. Okay, comb it up to continue taming the hairs and to also make it hair-like and give it that natural look that you will want, even if you're doing your makeup. You see how botched my one looks big, one looks high, one looks small. That doesn't matter. What matters now is our next step. Since you want a more natural look, you do not draw in the inner corner of your eyebrow. You don't come in with a pencil here unless you don't have hair, or unless you have gaps. You could fill them out lightly. You can tell they're not the same. One ends here, one ends here. It's fine as long as you already have that natural curve. You're halfway done. Okay, next step. When you look at my eyebrows, they look a bit, if I was to come to you like, you know, like this, you would, from afar, you would think these are my natural eyebrows, because they look light, which is nice. They look nice, they look light, and they don't look harsh on my face. They're not too there, okay? They're not too like, I'm here, my eyebrows, look at my eyebrows. That is one thing you want. This is what I like. I don't know whether I'll change, but I like this, the feathery feel look to my eyebrows, okay? So the next one we're going to go in with, the next part, it's the cleanup. And for cleanup, now hear me, I need you to write this down, or if you're practicing with me, you're gonna take one light shade, either one light, whatever you take, a lighter shade. It doesn't matter whether it's, no, don't take too light, just 1 or 2 shades lighter than your normal shade, or your concealer, your normal concealer. This one, you could use this one. Or if you do not have many or a variety, what I like to do when I'm purchasing product, you take one light, the lightest, the darkest shade, so that you mix them and create your own shade. That is a hack that I use even in makeup, because I don't like the orangey yellow look that makeup has. So what I try to do is I take the lightest and the darkest and I mix them up, more depending on what my shade is, my complexion, because complexion does vary depending on the cold, the sun, your skin complexion varies. This is not what determines how your brow curve, whatever this, you know, the shape of your eyebrow. And one thing that matters also is the type of brush that you use. The people who like this flat angled brush, it's a bit tall for me. I don't use this for my brow necessarily. For this video I won't. There's also this just flat and a bit fluffy. I will not be using this. It's because it's a bit thick for me. I like this, it thin, and this short flat, it's a bit fatter than the other. It's a bit, you know, but I like how short and how flat it is at the top. This is what I'm going to be using to conceal my eyebrow, because I'm a makeup girl. I do my makeup so much. Don't worry about my bitter brushes. I use them a lot and I wash them a lot. I have this from an empty container from one of my powders. I use this as a plate to put my product in here. I don't like because I always end up touching my hair, my clothes, so I love to use an empty pan. As you can see, I've already deposited my light concealer, the two of them, and you can tell I love having the darker one already on the pan. It is my base. So I mix up, okay? I take this, a little bit of this and this, and I mix them up depending on what I'm looking for. The lightness, if you want it lighter, you add more concealer. If you want it darker, you add more the darker shade. So yeah, I think this is, yeah, I like this. I like the shade. So I've mixed them up. This is what, I don't know whether you can tell. I have a very, it's not very potent, but you can tell, you can see. So it's a bit less light because this is too white for me. I like, my brow is already natural and blurry. Don't put too much product. I do that all the time because I'm mixing it using this, because I do it so much and I've done it so many times. It doesn't stress me out when I have lots of products but don't have lots of products and don't have them everywhere. So I take this, the light part, okay? Now hear me out. Look at this part. Now when you come to draw or to clean up, we call it cleaning up your eyebrow. The light, because this is a very light shade, this is not my skin tone. Let me show you. This is not something I would use as foundation for my skin. It's too light. It's not my foundation shade. So what I do, because I've mixed it, it's a bit not too harsh and it's a bit warm for my skin tone. I go in with this light part, okay? Now hear me. Let me hold my mirror so that you can see. Let me clean it up a bit more to have control of the product. Take your mirror, get very close. Now hear me. When you come to cleaning your eyebrow, the light shade that you're using, you don't begin here, okay? We do not clean up your eyebrow from the beginning. You begin from the middle, okay? You begin from here and you take it down to where your brow ends. Okay, you begin in the middle and you take it to where your brow ends. You see how neat that looks. And then you clean up the other one just from also the middle. Don't worry about my lashes, they're for this video, but don't have your lashes on when you're doing your makeup unless they're extensions. Yeah, you just trace with the light product. You can see the curve, the everything. Now we're shaping now for the remainder of the, because I do begin with my eyes when I do my makeup. For the remainder of the product, I just put it as eyeshadow primer. Okay, I just put it in there, and we'll fix that later. Now let me finish. Now I want to lift my brows a little bit more, so I don't, because I'm used to the, you know, but you could lift a bit more to give it a bit of a higher curve. That is what I'm gonna do. For the other part of the cleanup, I'll just use my brush that I was using, since I will not be using the light color. Now I go in with a bit of a darker color, just a tad bit, with the mixture of a very small tap of the light one. You want it dark, you want it more to your skin tone, because you don't want the harshness. Now this is what you use to go in the beginning of your eyebrow, very lightly, and you join it with, you know, very lightly, and then you join them. Yeah, you bring them together to avoid that harsh line and to create that natural gradient from one shade to the other. Okay, use that from the beginning of your eyebrow. One is higher, one is lower. Just a minute. See, I've cleaned up a bit more, a bit better. Now I know it's a bit too harsh and the product is a bit too visible, but let's first of all finish carving the other part of the brow. So the other part that we're gonna carve, using the same shade that you used for the inner corner of your eyebrow, you go in and you begin this. You don't begin here, you don't begin here, because you want that natural hair-like look. You begin here in the middle of your brow, and you, now that is where the flatness comes in. Okay, the flatness of the eyebrow comes in when it comes to lining that up. I've done this so many times. Look at that eyebrow, right? We're not yet done. It looks very natural, looks very, you know. Yes, now what we're going to do to make it even more natural, we're going to clean up all this by blending it to the eye. You want this, you never use the light shade here, you use it here, use it down here, you never use it up, and you never use it in the beginning. So for the darker shade, use in the beginning and up, because you don't want light, because you're going to blend this out into the skin for makeup prep. And even if you're not doing makeup, it's okay, you can blend this out and it will look natural. Now let me blend that out and show you. Take a more fluffier brush, a more fluffy one, not this one, but a more fluffy but steady one. This is not steady, this is an eyeshadow one. You don't use this for powders, use this, oh, you don't use this for creams. When it's too fluffy and it's too, you know, not stiff a bit, use this for powders. So get a more stiffer one. Again, so this was the first brush that I was telling you about. This is the powder one that you use. This is more stiff and more shorter, it's not fluffier. This is a concealer brush. You go in, because it's a cream brush, it's a cream brush. I use this for creams because it's a bit stiff and it's not too fluffy. This is too fluffy, this is stiff, this is okay. This is what you're going to use, and it's also the concealer one. So you want to take the concealer brush, the smaller one that you have. There are other people who have the big ones, but I love to use this for my eyebrows. And this is what you blend from the beginning. Yes, you don't touch on the brow or the line of the eyebrow. You go lightly as you pull it down to your eye. You clean this up, and I'm telling you, drag it. You don't drag like this, okay? You don't drag product like this. When it comes to softer products like on the eyes, not like large surfaces products, you don't drag it like this, okay? You just fluffy, you just tap, because, and make sure you don't get into your eyebrow, because you don't want to pick up on the dark on the pencil. You do this, you blend it out, bring it to your eye. And when it comes to, since I still want a more natural look, I lightly, with a light hand, I use this brush and I just brush up in the beginning of my brow to give it those hair-like strokes. See? You see how natural that looks? Yes. Not even with a heavy hand. Do not even let the brush fold. Just pull it, you know, feathery feel, and then come to the top part and also do the same. Start blending from the harsh line of your skin to the product. Tap on it. Yes. So that is a perfect brow for my perfect face. This is the type of brow that I should do for my face. And you can see the difference when you blend it out and when you don't. You can tell the harsh lines, you can see where your makeup ends, where it begins. But with this one, you cannot tell where my makeup is or whether I've carved them using makeup. This one you can tell because it's not blended out. So I'm gonna blend them out and then you'll see them together. Because I'll be doing a full face bit, maybe eyeshadow and things like that, I set it with a powder. You set it with both the powders, the light powder and the dark powder, depending on where you put your light concealer and your dark concealer. Okay, the light concealer, I use it on the light part, and the more skin tone concealer, a powder, powders, the more skin tone powder, you put it at the beginning of your eyebrow where you had the more natural color. Okay, yes. This might be this is a perfect brow for someone, and for someone it's a bit, I need it more matte, more powdered, more subtle. So I'm gonna powder it. But for anyone, if you feel as if I've not blended, you could also use a beauty blender if you don't trust. But I don't like, because you have no control when it comes to a beauty blender of where where you tap. So I love going in with this with a brush. Yeah. But this is a perfect eyebrow for my face, but I don't like it because it pulls my face down. But this is a natural eyebrow for my face. Now I'm going to show you what I do for my eyebrow, the one that I like. But this is a natural one. This is an everyday, not too much, not doing too much. It's an eyebrow. Okay, we're gonna take this fluffy one for powder and put this down, the cream. You don't use the same brush for cream and powder. Use it for creams alone. Okay, now we take the fluffy one for powder. I go in with the light one. You don't want to start with the darker shade because it will stain. You get the concept. Like, you just start with the lighter one and tap off the excess, because you do not want cakey eyebrow, because you'll also put eyeshadow. For the people who put eyeshadow, you don't want a cakey eyebrow. Okay, so you just tap the excess off and you set where you put your concealer. Yep. And I do not set on top of the eyebrow. I set just at the under my eyebrow. I do not set the top. I don't know why. I don't like it, and I don't, because I know I'll be putting makeup. For this one, I like to just dab up a bit to the brow to set that natural look of the eye. There we have it for this natural looking eyebrows. Now I'm gonna just rub the half of it or whatever needs to be molded and show you what I do for thin eyebrows and for my high eyebrows, because I like the high ones. So, but if you're satisfied with this, so this will be the end of it. This is the eyebrows. You can put your makeup on, and I would advise that you start with your eyes when you're doing your makeup, most because of the product that falls on your face, your eyeshadow, it falls. You don't want to have already done your makeup, so I prefer starting with my eyes. Now you can go on with the process of your makeup any other place, but for my eyebrows, this is it. For my eyebrows, I hope you like them. I hope you can see through them. They don't look too filled in, and they don't look too natural or too like not done. So I'm gonna do the other one. So if you're satisfied with this, thank you for watching and thank you for staying tuned. And if you still want to see the other part, you can move on with the video where how I do my curve and how I lift my eyebrows and how I lift my eyes, because I also have lashes. I've put my lashes a bit droopy for this look, so I want to lift them, to lift my eyebrows up without lifting my lashes. I won't change my lashes. I'm gonna wrap the half of it and lift it up, as I had showed you. Shave off the excess hair. That is why I wanted to begin with this. So I'm gonna shave off the excess, lift my brows up. Half my brow, this is not even my brow, this is my hair. Look at my hair, the shape of my hair, the line my hair follows. But I will go up. This time I will darken it a little bit because I don't have natural hair there, so I darken it a bit. I'm gonna shave this off. If you don't want to shave it off, use concealer, the lighter shade concealer, without mixing it with the darker one. Okay, you can use the light one without mixing it with the dark one. You just shape them the way you want, up, curve, whatever. I like mine like that. Some people prefer theirs like with a tail, with a more curved tail like this. Yeah, for me, others prefer it like that with a curve. Not for me. It would eat, but I like the cunty ones. Okay, so I'm gonna use the spoolie, the same concept as we did. Spoolie, brush them out, but this time it's a bit darker because there's no hairs, but it at least gives the illusion that hair goes that way. Okay, when you spoolie them out, so you lift them up. Use now a lighter shade, now without mixing it with a darker one, because of these hairs, since you don't want to cut them. But for me, I cut them. So you use that concealer in its original form, the light form. For this part, you will cover these hairs completely. Okay, that is what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna come back. This is typically what I do for my brows. I like them like this. I like them even when I'm looking down. So I hope you get the gist for this ones. Yeah, yes, I don't know whether it's necessarily, the hair doesn't have to be covered. Sometimes you yourself can see and you yourself can know, because you're the one who knows. You're more conscious about it. But anyway, I don't mind it. But if you do, probably pluck them, most probably, because it's hair at the end of the day. It has to show, it has shadow, you know. Yeah, but I like my eyebrows like that. So we've come to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot. You took down some notes, or if you're practicing as we went together. I hope that it was helpful to you and that it was a great tutorial. I really did enjoy making this video, and if you want to see anything else, inquire, ask questions, just comment in the comments down below, and I will answer all your questions, or any other tutorials that you want to see for beauty maxing, and you know, anything makeup. Just comment down below and I will 100% do it for you guys. But I'm grateful. Thank you for watching this vlog throughout. I really did enjoy myself, and I had a lot of fun, and I ended up doing my makeup because I'm about to leave. So it was all worth it. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, bye. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.